feedback from yesterday that the pace might be too fast for you. So today we'll be going way a lot more slower. Okay.
Way a lot more.
Okay. So today we'll be doing on artificial intelligence in the specialization of NLP, which is natural language processing. So what is artificial intelligence? Artificial is just feeding data into an algorithm for it to draw conclusions. So it's like feeding a baby data. It's like training a baby how to walk, how to sit, by giving a lot of test cases. So what is natural language processing? So natural language processing is the analysis of text. So for example, information retrieval, like you type in what is AI in the Google text box, then they'll filter out what is, and then they'll just search for results with AI. Then sentiment analysis is like analyzing how your words would sound like. For example, I say this food is bad and this food is atrocious, with atrocious being more impactful than bad. That's how you can measure sentiment. So this is very important for stuff like reviews or stocks. Then the rest is a bit sophisticated, so I'll just skip that. Okay, so now we'll do a live demo of the natural language processing in TIA. Okay, so in our demo we showed yesterday, so what our AI does is basically will pick up the keywords. So let's say I put 9 keywords I want to pick up. So for example, what is?
An apple.
That's boring.
An orange.
Why is boring? What is something that you want to learn about?
Kingston.
Okay, Kingston.
The history of Kingston. Kingston technology.
Kingston. Then we'll go to this page.
Kingston technology.
What are you doing?
There's no about. Oh, about. Okay. Okay, then we can just copy a very large chunk of text. Something like that. So with all the text here, right, you pick up all the important words. So I hope the AI can pick out like severe shortage or surface mount. These are the keywords of the sentences. So you generate, there you see, you can filter out all the keywords. Something like that. I don't know what the AI will filter out. So you can see from this is a very good prediction of all the keywords that you need to know. This is very good for Anki flashcards because you're going to want to know all the keywords that you have to memorize. Yeah. So, going back to my slides. We'll skip this part for now. So we'll be using this module called Natural Language Toolkit. The short form is NLTK. So this provides a suite of libraries and programs to analyze our natural language. Okay? So I want you to go to your Git pod. The Git pod from yesterday. I hope you all still have it. Anybody need help, please raise up your hand. Can you go up and help them set up the Git pod? Any problem getting into this page? No problem, right? Okay. So on the left hand side, right, you see this part, this backend subfolder. I want you to press it, then go into this NLP_tools. Okay? So we have this, right? I'll just close this. So you should see something like this. Everybody see something like this? Okay.
Give you a thumbs up.
Give a thumbs up if you see this. Okay. So to do natural language processing, right, we need to go through these are the 4 stages. What are the few stages you need to go through? The first one is tokenization. So we'll break up natural language processing into 3 words. Natural language processing. Then the next one will be lemmatization. In this case, lemmatization will be converting a word into its root word. The last one will be stop words. So what does a stop word do? We remove the useless word in the sentence. So as you can see from an example here, when was the first computer invented? When we remove when was it will help us to filter out what a keyword in the sentence should be. The last one will be parts of speech tagging. So we are going to break the words down into their classification. So for example, proper nouns or adjectives. Okay? So the first one will be tokenization. I'd like everybody to go back to the Git pod. The Git pod and just press play for the. If you all might have problems, so please press install. They probably do. Okay, everybody else can follow, right?
Time's up, time's up.
Okay. Okay. So now I go to the second. I'll press the first cell. Make sure it's running. So I should see something like this on the screen. So I know that the module is downloaded already. Okay, once I've successfully installed, I'll now talk about the second cell here. So firstly, we'll import the NLTK module here. Then we'll import the tokenized module from NLTK here.
What's NLTK?
Natural language.
Tell me for what?
I say you answer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we have a text here. It's a very long text about a HTTP request. So what we'll do here is that we'll try to tokenize it using word_tokenize with the text variable inside. So if you run it, we'll see an error like this. So this is a common problem we face with NLTK. So what I want to do, right, is on the terminal. On the terminal here, everyone can see the terminal is the bottom part. Can? So I'll type Python into it, and it will open an idle for me. Okay. Okay, I think you Control Shift P. Control Shift P. Okay, I need you all to Control Shift P first. Control Shift P, followed by Control R.
For what? Yeah, you click the PIP. You know just now that one. Click the what? The PIP install.
What? Can you repeat your question?
So you just install the standard extensions, right?
Yeah.
Notebook and Jupyter and
Python.
Cannot
Yeah.
I also don't know why it's up here.
That guy how to do.
So his computer cannot open the Jupyter notebook. I don't know why.
Why? Which problem is
Okay. Control Shift P, then reload window. Okay. Okay, so the next part we'll do is in the terminal we'll type Python. Then we go press import NLTK. Then NLTK.download. The Pang T, right?
Yeah.
Download this thing called Pang T. Yeah, so you can follow the thing on the screen. Yeah, so this will call a sub-module from NLTK for you to process your language. Then you also need to download something else, is stop words. Yeah. Okay. Then you run the cell again. And it should return you all the words in the sentence in an array. Okay, so I hope all of you can have this
the backend file is located.
I hope you all can get this result here. Anybody cannot?
Yeah, it's inside the depot.
Then press more action.
No, it's just on.
Okay. Then we'll go to the next cell. So now what I want you to do, right? I want you all to assign the tokens to an array named tokens. Can you all do that? It's one line. A lot of you on the cell one, you might have the problem. There was an error checking the latest version of pip, right? So what I want you to do, right? Yeah, but a lot of people cannot run the tokenize. Oh. Yeah.
Jensen, ask you run the first cell.
Yeah.
The import part.
Yeah, what? You just continue.
Okay. Can you assign the So how to solve this challenge is just write token, then equals to, you go scroll up a bit, then you just have the last line word underscore tokenize. Go down, and then you just put it on the right side. So this is how you put the tokens into as an array. Can you do that?
I mute it, brother.
They downloaded the stuff already, but then it still doesn't work.
Gerald, can you see your previous instruction? I muted it accidentally.
What previous instruction? Which one?
Just you said before.
Oh, I just said. Okay, so for those online, what I need you to do is just type this code out to assign tokens. To assign the tokens into a tokens array. Okay, so from here, I hope most of you can get into this part where you assign the tokens into an array. Everybody thumbs up if you can get this part. Okay, so next part we'll be going on lemmatization. So what lemmatization is just breaking down words into their root words. So for example, the word, there are 4 words: trouble, troubling, troubled, and troubles. So what we're doing here is going to break down into their root word, which is trouble. So using this, we can simplify the terms for a computer to do analysis. Okay? So going back to our Git port here. Going back to our Git port here, we're going to need to import the lemmatizer from NLTK using this function. Then we create a lemmatizer object. Then we lemmatize this word rocks. Okay? So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to press run. And then we have another error here. So you can see here the error is you have to run this. So I'm going to run this also. And I'm going to run this again. Then I also need to download this. Run again. Yeah, then you can lemmatizes rocks into rock. Everyone can get to this stage.
Raise hand if you need help.
Raise hand if you need help. We're coming around. Point. Okay. So what I want to do here, right? We have this tokens array just now. We have this tokens array. You have this tokens array just now, right? So what I want to do, right? Using Python functions, I want you to lemmatize all the words in the tokens array. So you can see here, I have this array over here. I want everybody to write some code to lematize all the words in the tokens array. You have 5 minutes to do it. You can start anything. You can reassign to tokens also. Okay. Everybody can do it. Thumbs up. Or cannot do it. Thumbs down. Okay, so I hope you have tried out, but now I'll show you how it's done. So to lematize all the words in the token, you just run for token in tokens. Token in tokens. So this will iterate through every single token. Then you can lematize in the function on top. You can lematizer.lematize the token. Then you
Control Z. Copy the.
You can copy the lematizer.lematize. So this is the method to lematize the word. So you just put token as a parameter. Yeah. Then we need to assign it to something. So what do we assign it to? Yeah.
Oh, not here, right? Is it
Yeah, you
inside?
go on top. Go up, go up. Go up, up. Yeah, here. Equals to the square bracket. Yeah, then you lematize underscore token append on the bottom here.
Ah.
No. On the same line.
In front of the lemmatized.
Ah. Oh my god.
Forget everything.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, so what we have done here is that we have iterated through every token in the tokens list. Then we lematize in the individual word. So as you can see here, you can see every word here is of the root word. Anybody have problem with this? Anybody needs help? needs help? Okay. Anybody else need help? Okay, I think we can move on. So the next part here, right, we'll talk about stop words. So essentially, right, to filter out what is stop words. So let's take a look at this sentence. An HTTP request is made by a client to a name host which is located on a server. So we can identify those useless words that will confirm there will be a stop word, there will be a keyword. So let's say you're highlighting this for your exam. You highlight HTTP request, client, name, host, and server. So you won't highlight these words which do not provide any extra value to your understanding of content. So in this sense, keywords will be this. Okay? So now we'll go back to the GitHub page, yeah. So what we'll do here is we'll import the module from NLTK to import the stop words from the NLTK module. Then we call the stop words, which is a set of stop words they have in their library. So we'll use English for that. Then using this function here, we'll filter out all those tokens that are inside this set. Okay, so we'll run this, and then you see another error like that. New tokens. Okay, so so in the code just now, I want you to change lemmatized token into new token. I need you to run this cell again. Then run this. Then you see that all the stop words have been removed. Yes. That's the challenge. Okay, in the lemmatized code, we'll change the lemmatized token into new tokens. New underscore tokens. Oh, yeah. Eldon, can you see it? Okay, sorry, there's some technical error. Then for Mingqi, do you have? Can you tell me the error that you have? Anybody on site has any problems?
Jensen.
Mingqi, what part of the code is that? Which cell are you running? Do you run the first cell? Okay. Then what can I have the error?
Type of error.
Name. I need the whole error. I need the whole.
Name error. Ask him to do. I think general name error. Tokenize. Is it?
Wait, I change. Wait, you need to rerun the lemma. You need to rerun the. You need to rerun. You need to run the. You need to rerun. Which line? You need to rerun the lemmatized code here. Okay, so now I'll move on to the next part. So the last and final part will be on POS tagging. So what this is parts of speech tagging. So with a word you have inputted, they will convert it into the type of word it is. So for example, on the screen here you see Labor Day. This is a proper noun. So if you push this into the tagging function, it will return NMP, which stands for proper noun. So with this, we can try to know what kind of word this text is. What kind of word this is, yeah. So if it's something like a suffix or quantifier, then it will most likely not be a keyword. Then for those proper nouns and adjectives, then it might probably be a keyword. Yeah. So we'll go back to the Git pod. I want you to run this cell here. Then you might see another error here.
what? Look up. Need a professional debugger. Professional debugger 看一下。
It's a very good question.
Okay, you guys really don't know how to do this.
This is a surface.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know why.
Sad, don't need
I know why.
Walao, I come down then ever no more. Walao, I should stay up there then you got a lot more errors. Did you even download
The aggregator I have downloaded.
your solution of Stack Overflow? Aggregator.
That's a lot
Pytextrank. Huh? Hey, you sure or not?
Yeah, can.
Because you use position tagger here.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so you all need to download the NLTK, this average perceptron tagger. Then you can try to run it again and work. You need to download this.
What are the different things you have to download? Ask me for everything. They reply to everyone.
What are the different?
From the start,
Yeah.
what is the first one? D, T,
Pang T.
T. What stop?
words.
Stop words. With a S?
Yeah.
Then
Got some more, but it's in the error. This on my. This one.
OMW. It's OMW, right?
Yeah. You can get this.
1 point.
NLTK.download average perceptron tagger. So I highlighted it.
What else? Oh no.
The wordnet. Wordnet.
Never even find it. One net one word, right?
Yeah. Then the average perceptron dagger. Maybe maybe you can see the code.
Perception, there you go.
Yeah.
What is lookup?
Why?
Huh?
This person.
Focus is not defined. Which you never.
I think for the tokens is not defined. Which part?
First part already defined tokens.
That guy, Jupiter won't doesn't work.
Okay, go.
So I think save down, like reinstall the whole thing, but still cannot.
Perception.
Sorry about the error. Exclamation mark. Friend.
We got some feedback, right? So, since the inputs are all over the place, they have to one by one install all the modules on VS. Yeah, so they say it would be better if you just like next time, I guess, just show all the things they need to import first, then they can install.
Okay.
Give them time to install.
Okay.
Then can yeah. All right. Goodbye.
Thank you.
What did he say?
He said next time ask them install everything first.
Oh.
Is there anything else?
I don't think so.
So like,
Okay, so now back to the slides. So today we'll be learning two very simple algorithms. One is called RAK, which stands for Rapid Automatic Extraction Tool. So this RAK algorithm was made by a few university scholars, which they theorized that keywords really contain punctuation, stop words, or other words with minimum lexical meaning, which means like doesn't really have a lot of meaning. Yeah. So you also try to match words like bad and rubbish, which have semantic proximity, which means they have similar meaning. Okay. So to run this RAK algorithm, it will be very simple. We're going to need to install RAK/NLTK. We're going to run this cell. Once the cell is run, we go to the next cell and we're going to run this as well. Okay? Then you see, he has all the keywords extracted out using AI.
Stop picking the persona.
Everyone can reach this stage?
I like this chair.
Okay. Okay, so one of the shortcomings of this is that in the uniform resource locator, they have this extra ending bracket here. So most likely he has not enough stop words to filter this out. So I want to challenge you all to filter all the punctuation out. Yeah. Okay. So to end off, I'm going to teach you another extraction tool which is known as Pytextrank. So Pytextrank is way more sophisticated as it uses novel social keyword extraction. It has employed deep learning and used like a very large database to rank the solution of words. So that will be on the final few cells. So I'm gonna run this. Then we're gonna
No, so you can continue later lah.
we're gonna run the other one. And then it's gonna extract all the keywords out for us also.
Wrap up, then continue later.
What?
Wrap up, then continue.
Okay, so I'll wrap up and then I'll continue later.
Now will be your breaks and games.
Break.
Now will be your breaks and games. Yes.
Wait,
You all clarify any last question first, then.
it's one shot by error.
Who?
The one, the TJC one.
Okay.
You mute this one. Do we need to mute this?
No.
No, yeah. Okay. Okay, go back. Later we come down.
You all should take your. There's okay. So I should. So there's 2 lightning talks. There's a break. There's 2 lightning talks. Then you all continue at 3:50. You all continue around 3:15.
Yeah.
So you need Gary on this.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Just leave it on the bed first. Okay. Let you can. My MC is going to. Okay. Let me do this. I'll take over for it. Okay. We're gonna get break for a short while first. If you guys want to continue or you want to ask the workshop organizers any questions, you can take some time. But come back by 2:45. 2:45. We'll have a couple of lightning talks coming up. Yeah, at 2:45. So right now, if you need to take a toilet break, especially if you don't join us online, you can feel free to do so.
Okay, welcome back guys. So for this part, we'll be integrating the AI into our web page. So how do we integrate to the web page? We're using something called API. So I'm going to let this video do some explanation.
Connectivity is an amazing thing. By now, we're all used to the instant connectivity that puts a world at our fingertips. From desktops or devices, we can purchase, post, pin, and pick anything, anywhere. We are connected to the world and each other like never before. But how does it happen? How does data get from here to there? How do different devices and applications connect with each other to allow us to place an order, make a reservation, or book a flight with just a few taps or clicks? The unsung hero of our connected world is the Application Programming Interface, or API. It's the engine under the hood and is behind the scenes that we take for granted, but it's what makes possible all the interactivity we've come to expect and rely upon. But exactly what is an API? It's a question everyone asks. Okay, not really, but we're glad you did. The textbook definition goes something like this. In computer programming, an application programming interface, API, is a set of routines, protocols, and tools for building software. An API expresses a software component in terms of operations, inputs, outputs, and underlying types. Okay, to speak plainly, an API is the messenger that takes requests and tells a system what you want to do, and then returns the response back to you. To give you a familiar example, think of an API as a waiter in a restaurant. Imagine you're sitting at the table with a menu of choices to order from, and the kitchen is the part of the system which will prepare your order. What's missing is the critical link to communicate your order to the kitchen and deliver your food back to your table. That's where the waiter, or API, comes in. The waiter is the messenger that takes your request or order and tells the system, in this case the kitchen, what to do, and then delivers the response back to you, in this case, food. Now that we've whetted your appetite, let's apply this to a real API example. You are probably familiar with the process of searching for airline flights online. Just like at a restaurant, you have a menu of options to choose from. A drop-down menu in this case. You choose a departure city and date, a return city and date, cabin class, and other variables. In order to book your flight, you interact with the airline's website to access the airline's database to see if any seats are available on those dates and what the cost might be based on certain variables. But what if you're not using the airline's website, which has direct access to the information? What if you are using an online travel service that aggregates information from many different airlines? The travel service interacts with the airline's API. The API is the interface that, like your helpful waiter, can be asked by that online travel service to get information from the airline system over the internet to book seats, choose meal preferences, or baggage options. It also then takes the airline's response to your request and delivers it right back to the online travel service, which then shows it to you. So now you can see that it's APIs that make it possible for us all to use travel sites. The same goes for all interactions between applications, data, and devices. They all have APIs that allow computers to operate them, and that's what ultimately creates connectivity. So whenever you think of an API, just think of it as your waiter running back and forth between applications, databases, and devices to deliver data and create the connectivity that puts the world at our fingertips. And whenever you think of creating an API, think MuleSoft.
Okay, guys. So, well, we settle some stuff right now. Let me just, so right now, right, we settled out the front end part, right? But you might have noticed that, the data that any change you make, for example, like create a new tag, or create a new tag, or delete a new tag, or anything, then the data might be shown there temporarily. Yeah, so, but the data is just stored there locally. So when you refresh the page, any change you make is gone. So how do we circumvent that problem? Well, we have to store any changes we've made. Store any changes we've made onto a permanent database. Okay, so later we will send you a code. Okay, so you can take a look. So we will have a database, right, in our backend. Alright, and then what our main focus for today will be to take information from the backend and display it, and also to give information to the backend to change it, delete, adding new items. Okay, so in a short moment, the screen will be back up.
No, I know, but no, I just blanked it out. I was doing something. No, no, see, no one get back out.
Oh, the screen. So wait, now what's the issue?
Now you already know. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe what time? No, I know female dude.
So you're saying Discord, right?
Yeah. This one is the text.view.
Text.view in the Discord.
Yeah. I sent
Okay,
it.
so in
Change the edit that. Oh yeah, never mind.
so you send a new code, right? So can everybody please replace the current code in that
Main, right?
In the, yeah.
main.view to this code right here, insert in a Discord. Then after everybody done that, we'll carry on. In main.view.
they got problem or not.
Okay, so did anybody have any issues? Okay. So right, in order to retrieve data from like our backend server, right, we will have to run it. Okay, so how do we run our backend server? So can everybody remember the NLP tools .ipynb just now? In that same backend folder, we have our backend.py. So that's our server code. So can everybody in the terminal type?
Create a new terminal.
Oh, okay. Before you have to create a new terminal. So you can see the plus button. Okay, everybody create a new terminal. And then in the new terminal, type cd backend. Okay. Can everybody cd to the backend? Okay, now you have to import, you have to install some modules. The first one is pip install flask. Everybody can do this? Anybody unclear what to do? Just an error.
Error?
Is that the rest end? Okay, so class is basically the module for our
The
server.
warning we just ignore, right?
So I won't go too much into detail into it right now. You just learn how to communicate with our server from Vue. So next you will pip install flask course.
It's called the main.view. Main.view. Big C.
Yeah. Okay. So then after that you will install anybody any problems?
Upstairs.
Pip install flask.
Are you inside the backend directory? Alright. So first you pip install flask. The next one. Okay, so it's just actual course. The collecting part is not included.
Wait.
Okay.
I want to say wait.
Okay, next is so we'll be making use of the AI that we learned just now. So we have to install NLTK or break NLTK. Okay, so once all of our modules are installed, we will run the server. We will type. Oh yeah. We have to download the specific NLTK modules like earlier just now. So we have to download stockworks.
Stop it.
Okay, so if everything is successful, you should see this as just now. You have to make it public.
You know you cannot exhale. Oh. Reload.
But terminal will gone.
Just control. And just run it again.
Yes, that was the problem.
Not problem. There are some issues that we paid, right? So what else do you need to perform in RTK?
NRTK is stop words and TUNKT, tongues.
Punctuations and stop words. I thought those were stopped earlier.
No, that's in the return also.
Right. Yeah, thank you.
You must tell them to make well.
So if you just now see the pop-up just now, right, you have to make it public. So this will allow us to allow our view file to call from it. So just to show you basically how we will retrieve information, right? So if you click on the link there, the HTTP 127.0.0.1 control click, it will bring you to our server. So you can type in unky/dex. So this will basically give you what decks are in our database. So by thinking, what URL is give what kind of data? So this is why we will have API spec sheet. So you can see which URL you will need to access to get what kind of data. So you can see here, there are different types of URL. So just now we went to unky/dex, and we will get our data in a list of dictionaries, deck ID and deck name. So you can see below, there are other URLs, like for example, unky/dex, deck ID, which will get the information of one card only. You can see. Yeah. So there are also, instead of retrieving data, you can also send data. But first, we will work on retrieving data to display in our view. Okay, so first of all, wait, is everybody okay up to this point? Can everybody get their server up and running?
Show something like that.
You should see this page, this running on the 127.0.0.1. Okay, the last 3 lines are not code that you type in. It's just to show there's a server showing you that it has received like a browser trying to retrieve data from it. Okay, I'll send the URL, the different types of the API spec sheet to the Discord. So hang on.
Can you let me see? His NLP is back, so I ask you, where did you take it from?
NLP tools.
Okay, so Now you will start using our view.
It works.
You start using our view to retrieve data from it. Okay, so first of all, can everybody go to your
main, right? Main.ts.
Main.view.
okay, everybody go
main.ts.
So it's underneath the main.view and app.view. Okay, so everybody go to main.ts and you should see something like this. Can everybody is everybody at this file? Can everybody see this code? Yes? Can? Anybody not sure what's happening? Everybody okay? Okay, so
tell him we are using backend.p. Tell him we don't need to see the code actually. Tell him just type in terminal cd backend. Oh my god, that means he need to import all the. Do you remember what I said just now? All the stuff we installed. With all the fast thing.
okay. So what we will use in Vue in order to get our data is we have to import an external module. So something like NLTK also, we have to import Axios from Axios. Okay, so this will allow okay. And so you see just now, right?
You click on the browser, the server.
So you can see just now that the entire URL is really long. And every time you want to call, you do not want to type out the entire thing. So we can set what's the default URL. You can set the default URL to that one in order to shorten it. Shorten what we need to type. Okay? So what we need to do, so the URL will be different for everybody. So what I need everybody to do is to first type Axios dot defaults dot base URL equals to the URL of your server without the index. Okay, just to show you how we enter the server again.
Go to the terminal, the Python.
So we will click on the HTTP, control click, and then we will copy this URL into this default.base URL.
Yeah.
Okay, is everybody okay with that? Anybody has any issues? Can raise your hand. Okay, I give everybody a short while to paste in their own server URL. headers dot post. You can just see the screen. So what this will do is to essentially to initialize what kind of data will be retrieved. Yeah, so I give everybody 30 seconds to copy this down also. Yeah, remember to put a semicolon at the end of both lines. Okay, everybody finish already? Okay, so now that the server is initialized and also initialize our Axios module, we will go back to the main.view. And then we will go and right underneath the script. Then we will import Axios from Axios. Oh, you all have it. Oh, okay, so now you will have to so now you have to when you initialize the page you have to get the data. Okay, so how do we do that? So can everybody see this initialize? What? So to just explain what this initialize is when you first load a page, they will run the server, I mean the view will run the initialize. So then you will run any functions, any functions or methods, return under initialize. Okay, so this is just to show you an example Axios code. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll type axios.get. So what that will do is to retrieve the data from our URL. Okay, so do you remember just now how you may have tried typing /key/dex and then you all receive some in. Okay, so I think everybody needs to actually add an extra empty at the back, yeah, at the main.ts. Okay, and go back to our main.view. Okay, so this chunk of code is quite complicated. Okay, so first of all, they will run axios.get. Okay, and then what do they do with the data after? Yeah, so this will be the data that our view will get. But what do they do with the data? So you go to our view, so you can see that the dot then will tell the view what they will do with the data. equals to REST.data. So this is basically to initialize all our starting topics. Just now, you remember changing like the name of the desserts yesterday to the data. So it will basically set those topics to the data that we get. Okay, give us a moment. Does anybody have any issues so far? Anybody got problem? Can raise their hand. Please take a moment while we solve some technical issues. Okay. So now when we rerun, okay, hang on, we wait for the screen gets back on. Okay, so now right, you can see that just now the data that we retrieved will actually be displayed. It will initialize our topics as the data that we get. So if you click on your view and click on your view click on your view URL and there's you don't see this, maybe you can try we'll show you how to rerun the server. So you just press Ctrl C in the node in your view terminal and just type npm run serve again to rerun and recompile the code. So can everybody see the new view page? Okay, so now, so as you can get data, right, but we can also post data.
I see it.
So we can go back to here. So you can see that for
when you initialize the page, they will retrieve the DAX to display. But let's say you want to add a DAG, right? You have to post. Then you will insert a DAG to the database. So you will permanently add a DAG to the database. And same goes with delete. You will permanently delete a DAG from the database. But we will have to use different functions. So instead of axios.get, you have to use axios.post and axios.delete in order to send a request to our server. So in our code, so you can see under delete item confirm at line 213. So this is where after you click, are you sure you want to delete? Okay, give you an example. So you can just create a new tag. So you can see here. Oh, yeah. After you click delete, so then you'll run this function. So you can see here, you will call axios.delete, right? And then which URL to send to. But unlike get, right, we will have to send data. We have to send data we have to send which DAG to delete from our server. So what we do is we have to specify this chunk of code right here, data, followed by what the data is. So it's this dot editor item. So some of you are wondering what this dot editor item is. So well, this dot editor item is basically the data you will create whenever you press the delete button. It's so hard to explain. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So you can see it's under here, editor item. So just to show you. So when you click the delete item, you will change the this.editor item, and then you will assign it with the relevant data. So for example, you click on delete, right? And you click on delete, it will first change. So it will set the editor item with the tag ID and tag name, and then you will send the tag ID and tag name to our server so they can know which ones to delete. Alright. Can everybody get the idea of how you use Axios to send, retrieve, manipulate, post data to our server? So can everybody understand how the Axios allows two-way communication between our front end and back end?
Time's up. Huh? I don't know. Oh, apparently no, they don't understand.
Nothing.
The guy shake his head.
Who where?
The middle guy. You try ask again. If you understand, put a thumbs up.
There's nothing else we can do. Just pass the time of the session.
Can give a code instead. If you need help, contact us.
Okay, so we are coming to the end of our workshop. Yeah, so it has been a little bit rushed, right? Because we didn't really have time to.
We have a lot of content to cover, then a lot of teammates are down with COVID.
Yeah, so we are unable to efficiently teach to the best. So there are some content that we were unable to teach you in time, but we still hope that through our yesterday, earlier in the afternoon, and after this workshop, you will have a better understanding of how you can use Vue to create a website and how to use templates. So we do not have to code everything from scratch. You can just edit the necessary parts. You can also learn how to use Axios to retrieve data from APIs, which is relevant to your hackathon. And yeah, if
feel free to send us a PM on Discord, and we will try our best to help you there. Thank you for listening. We are a TRA team, and we hope you've learned a lot from these workshops. Thank you.
Thanks for watching the video. To watch more, do click on the playlist linked in the description or check out our channel for more videos like these. And if you liked, do consider subscribing to our channel. It really means a lot to us. Thank you and have a pleasant day.